Thank you for joining again today. It's so great to connect with you. I always love connecting with people through the Facebook medium, and it's such a great way to just connect with a lot of people in a lot of different areas and really touch base and see how everyone's going. I really hope you had a fabulous weekend and that you're enjoying the start to a new week. Another new week's come about, and it's such a beautiful day here on the Gold Coast. The sun is out, the rain's gone, so it's been a fabulous day to start a beautiful week. So I really hope you're enjoying your week as well. And if you've been affected by the floods, I really hope that you are safe and that you've been able to stay above the water line. So I really hope that you're all safe. And I thank all those SES volunteers that are going out and helping everyone in those flooded situations that have been affected by the floods last week. So I'm Teresa Todd. I'm a naturopath, biochemist, microbiologist and author. And today I just wanted to touch base or to talk to you about guilt. It's an emotion that can really erode away at us. It can erode at our self-confidence. It can erode at the talk that we're saying inside our heads. So I really wanted to talk about guilt and how it can impact on your health, because I have seen a bit throughout the last few weeks with a lot of the mums that are coming in. And I'm going to say even myself, I feel guilt I'm going to say regularly. I do feel guilt about the decisions that I make to do with my family, and I want to share with others about that. But the important, or the thing that spurred me today is that I heard on the news that Princess Kate spoke about her mother's guilt on a radio interview, and so I thought it was timely to then share and get it out there that we can all move past guilt, that we all don't have to feel like that we're guilty. Mums especially are just putting so much guilt on themselves. So I'm going to ask you, do you ever feel guilt about not spending enough time with your family? Not spending enough time cleaning your house, or not feeding the kids the meals that you should be feeding them? Not taking them to after school activities because you have to work, or giving them too much screen time. There's a lot of research around kids getting too much screen time these days. And sometimes parents are sort of doing a bit of a barter thing to give them a bit of screen time so they can get some tasks done around the place. So are you feeling guilty about any of those? So there is so much that people feel guilty about these days, and it just compounds and it adds on to each other every day. So I'm going to give an example of something that happened to me recently. Is I had a family outing. I took the family out and we had a wonderful time at an indoor activity, and it was really good. The kids loved it. My husband came along, so it was a whole family event, and we created memories to go with that. And the kids really did love it. They had a great moment with it. And I had someone come up to me and say, well, why didn't you take the kids outdoors? Why didn't you go and do something outdoors? And initially, the first reaction that was triggered in me was guilt. I'm like, why didn't I? Why didn't I go out and take the kids out? It's a beautiful day. It's been raining all week, and we've got a beautiful weekend, and it's sunny. And so initially, that thought was like, why didn't I? Why didn't you do that? How dare you not do that? And then I had to pull myself up on that and go, you know what? There is a reason that I picked that indoor activity. It was something that the whole family could do, and it was being a really hot day. It was something that I knew wouldn't overheat the children, and it was safe for all of us to do. And it was, especially with the health conditions of some of the family members, it was something that we could all do together. So that was my underlying reasons as to why I did that indoor activity. And in addition to that, I'd already planned that we were going to go to the park in the afternoon when it cooled down, and we were going to have that outdoor time later on when it was out of the heat of the sun and out of the heat and the humidity that's going on. So I'd already planned that. But in my initial thought, when this comment was made, it was like, I feel guilty. So I wanted to expand on that and share it with everyone so that you can, one, identify with it a little bit, but we can all let ourselves go of feeling guilty, that we don't have to harbour these thoughts that we take on every day. Because the reason I wanted to address this is I see it a lot in my clinic, is when people are feeling guilt and there's a continual amount of guilt, it tends to create anxiety, creates depression. it increases your blood pressure. So then we have the high blood pressure, the stress response, the heart health. We also increases cortisol levels, which a lot of women, especially at the moment, not only women, but mothers especially, are going through adrenal fatigue. And I'm seeing a lot of that going on. And some of that is because they're feeling guilty that they're not doing as much as they could, would, or should do. And I'm going to talk about those words in a moment. But they're feeling like they're not doing enough. They're not being enough. They're not having enough. So it's that guilt that's then driving them to be adrenally fatigued. And then that spirals into they're too fatigued to go and do things with the kids. They're too tired to go and have those family outings or to go and have the social time with their friends. They're too tired. And it comes back to that initial guilt to start with, that it's driving that cortisol response. And that cortisol response then robs you of your nutrition, robs you of your energy. And so we go on from there. But guilt also undermines our self-confidence. It erodes away at our self-confidence. And like I said, can lead to depression. Also, it tends to create tension. So we tend to get the headaches, we tend to get the tight muscles, the stiff joints. All of those health conditions can be going on because you've been surviving or going each day with some form of guilt in your body. So think about how guilt affects you. How is it that you're going through each day? Are you feeling guilty most of the time? Do you have fleeting thoughts of feeling guilty? Do you dwell on those thoughts? What can you do to help yourself and to let all this go? And the big thing is, if we can support each other, we can all move through this. So I wanted to talk today about how to stop the guilt. What can you do? Being aware of the thought processes and being aware of what you're thinking and how you're feeling in each moment is definitely going to help. And it's the best start that you can have, because if you're not identifying and you're not identifying with those feelings and really feeling those feelings, you're not going to realize when they're coming about and when they're driving you. So being aware of those thoughts is the big concept with that. And then from when you're aware of those thoughts, you can help to change the modeling or change the self-talk that's going on in your mind. With the guilt, the self-talk that goes on, is it negative? Is it, I should have done more, I should have done this, I should have, would have, could have? The language that we're using in our mind, the should, would, and could. So using those words, we tend to limit ourselves into a bracket, into this box of what we should have done. And when I say that word, you can actually feel it like, oh, damn, I should have done it. And again, you feel like there's more that could have been. So really identifying with the words that you're using in your mind, being aware of your own self-talk, being kind to yourself. So if there is a situation where something could have been done a little bit differently, or you could have chosen, or there was another choice that could have been made, think about the circumstances. So like I said in the example I gave, there was reasons that I chose to do an indoor activity at the beginning on the weekend. There was reasons behind that. No one else really knows that outside my family. And that's okay, because there was reasons behind it. So letting go of someone else's perception, because they don't know all of the circumstances, and going, you know what? This was the best decision I could have made at the time. This was the right decision. This was the decision that I've made, and I'm happy with the outcome with that. So being kind to yourself with that, and allowing yourself that space to be happy with what you've done. If you really are struggling with that, then talking to a professional. Talk to someone that can help to give you strategies to help you move forward and identify when you're feeling guilt and how to move through that. Or even talk to someone about if you're feeling guilty about after school activities, not enough time, you've got work and other commitments on, so the after school activities. Think about strategies. Think about utilising other mums that might be around that could help to take your children to the after school activities. Think of other options that you could do, or talk with your children about the options that are there. And look at what's good for your family, what works with your lifestyle, and then remove the guilt from that in the fact that you've spoken with your children, you've spoken with others, you've worked out different scenarios and different plans and worked out the optimum way for you to do that. So letting go of perfection, letting go of everything needing to be perfect. That's probably the one thing with I'm going to say the mums these days, is that we do have this element of perfection on us that we put on ourselves, but we also have it from social media, we have it from the media, we have it from the internet. You see someone else that seems to be doing it so well and doing it right, and yet, like I said, someone like Princess Kate is still saying she feels guilt. And she's got a lot of help along because of her status and her life. She has the help and she has people there to help with her children, but she still feels the guilt. So all of us have space to be able to ask for help and to take the pressure off ourselves that doesn't have to be perfect. So getting stuck, so avoid getting stuck with that. So if you're not attaining the so-called perfectionism, don't dwell on what has been. Don't dwell on, I'm using the word don't, so I'm very aware of that as well. But looking at how you can move on. So if you've had a situation and you felt some guilt with that, move forward, move through it, and see what you did, how you were involved in that situation, and anything else that maybe could have been done a little bit better next time, but not, because again, that comes back to guilt. And hindsight is always lovely. Hindsight is a great way to look back and say, I could have done something better. But in the present moment, if you're living in the present moment, you're living in each space. So there's no space for hindsight. We just want to move forward constantly. So it's about moving forward, letting go, don't dwell, and just moving forward with each and every day and each and every moment, and valuing that time that you've got with the kids, valuing that space, valuing how much love you're giving them, the quality time that you're having with them. So all of these aspects are things to look at instead of the negative aspects. And then that comes into positive affirmations. So, like I said, look at the positive things that you're being able to provide for your children. If you've got home and you're too tired to cook, and tonight you've gone, I haven't got enough food, I haven't got enough nutritious food, let's go and opt for something else. Look at maybe meal planning. Look at, take the pressure off yourself of the guilt right now and go, you know what, I'm treasuring my time. I'm going to go to a healthy restaurant and we're going to have a healthy meal. And we're going to spend some quality time together and make some memories. And then look in the future that you might be able to meal plan that helps you out with that kind of fatigue that can happen, so that you're feeling like you're not feeling good enough by not providing the meals. Looking at like I said, looking at the positivity of the situation that's going on. So giving the children the love, giving yourself the love, giving your family that space to just be in the moment, to really live life to the fullest and create those memories for the future, because that's what's going to matter. Not whether they got to do that extra after school activity today, or whether you had the house clean enough for today. So in previous generations, the mums really just had to tend to the house and keep the house clean. And they had their own expectations about how clean the house should be, or if they were keeping up with the Joneses. In this day and age, we're finding that we've not only got that, but then we've got that, like I said, that extra layer because of social media and the internet and the other media forms, that everyone feels like they're not good enough and that they need to be that next level. They're not giving the kids enough time. They're giving the kids too much screen time. Again, balance it out with everything that's going on with your life. So think about the positives that you're giving. Think about the love that you're giving to your family. Think about the love that you're giving to yourself. Make some positive affirmations. If you find yourself in the guilt, I'm going to say the guilt cycle, have some positive affirmations written around your house. Write them in your diary. Put them on the mirror next to where you clean your teeth. Positive affirmations about how great a mum you are, how great a person you are, how everything is being done at the right time and the right space for your life. And so you'll find that as you look at these positive affirmations and you cycle through them every day by continually looking at them, that positivity will gleam into you And then you'll share that with your family as well, because they'll pick up on it. So that's the great news with this, is when you can take it on board yourself and then it emanates from you, your family picks up on that positive vibration and they feel better as well. So I really hope that being able to help you, I'm not going to say avoid the guilt, but deal with any of the guilt feelings that you've got going on that we all tend to put on ourselves. Look for support with other people. Find family, find friends, find support workers that can actually help you in your life and in your situation, because everyone's life is different. So looking for some support that can help you through this, and then you'll shine with glowing positivity from that. I really look forward to speaking with you next time. Hope you have a wonderful rest of the week. Have a fabulous day. Bye for now.